What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade Real Housewives of Potomac Season 5, Episode 15 review. But before I start, I got some behind the scenes tea for you guys. So this week, a well-known, I believe he's just a blogger, I don't know if he's a YouTuber as well, passed away. And a lot of you inboxed me about it because Candace and this gentleman had beef with one another. And a few months ago, before the show, around the time the show first started airing this season, she did that infamous live, and she said some very disparaging things about the young man. And this is what she had to say about him.
Other girls are using because they need more. They really don't like you. I disagree. Bloggers aren't saying that. There's one obese piece of shit who just needs to drop dead. Like, when are you going to drop dead? That is saying that. He makes up all kinds of rumors and lies. He waits with bated breath, short breath, because he can't breathe because of all the fat around his heart, to use anything that I say. So, first of all, the reason we're here today is because Kyle's mother gave us permission to share his story. This morning, Kyle transitioned at 10:49, I believe it was, this morning. He went into the hospital about 2 weeks ago. He posted on his page that he was at Holy Cross. The last time I talked to him was that Sunday. That Thursday, things happened. RJ knows more about that part of it, but ultimately, a lot of people know.
Now, I don't know much about this young man. I never followed him, but he had health issues and complications. I don't care how mad you get at somebody or how, much you dislike somebody. You don't wish death upon nobody. You have to be very careful of what you say out your mouth because you speak life with your words. I hope that Candace learns from this. I hope that she regrets this. I hope that she has asked God for forgiveness because you just don't say that. You just don't say that about people. But this y'all girl, that mouth of hers, woo, is a weapon. It is a weapon. Child, now I feel sorry for that demon. But anywho, let's get on to tonight's episode. So Ashley is up exercising with Dean. She's doing yoga. Dean is powerlifting. He's doing a little boxing. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get the guns together for summertime. So Gizelle calls to check on Jamal, and her call is forwarded to voicemail. Because they have no relationship. This is just for the show. We all know this. So Wendy and Robyn are on the phone. They talk about Monique filing charges against Candace, and they both, for what dumb reason, think that she's wrong for countersuing against her. Bitch, you open this door, I'm gonna close it. Point blank ND period. You're not about to press child charges on me and think I'm just gonna sit back and be like, yeah, you're right. I'm just gonna take this. Bitch, you crazy. And then Robyn gonna talk about, I was really holding out hope that Monique was going to realize that she was wrong. Girl, shut up. Your whole existence is wrong. Girl, shut up. So Monique meets with the Grand Dame for lunch, and Karen tells her that Ashley invited them on the girls trip, and you could tell by the look on Monique's face that she knew nothing about the girls trip. But remember, Ashley told us that she did not invite Monique. So I felt bad because I felt like, especially with how far she and Ashley have come, Ashley should have reached out to her even before she even told the girls about the trip and said, hey, this is what's going on. I felt like that was fucked up that she had to find out that way. So Monique tells her, it's cool, whatever. I'm focusing on my family, whatever. She played it off, but I could tell her feelings were hurt. So Monique then tells Karen about what Ashley said, at her event about Karen basically telling Candace to file charges. And Karen was like, if somebody somebody will be in jail if they try to fight me, because I'll be like, help. She was making a joke out of it or whatever, but I understood, like I said, where Karen was coming from. I just think that she just shouldn't have said nothing. Monique says, but you wouldn't try to egg someone on. Monique tells her that she can be friends with both of them. And I love the fact that she came from that standpoint, because as we've seen, Candace didn't want her to be friends with Monique. She wanted her to ice Monique out so Monique wouldn't have anybody to film with. And Karen didn't play that game along with her. So Karen says, that she and Candice will be fine and that their relationship is just a little scratched right now. And Monique says, that's how we were last year. Just be careful. And I can so see next season it being an issue between Karen and Candice. So Ashley is going to leave Dean at home with the nanny during the day, and Michael will put him to bed at night when he comes home from work. But I was like, Dean is a grown man. Dean can put himself to bed. Dean knows how to self-soothe. Dean is going to, take him a little swig of Jack before he go to bed. That's going to run through a system. He going to turn the fireplace on, turn on a little Michael Bolton and go to bed. Like, Dean is fine. So Ashley says to Michael, are you going to be good when I'm gone? And I'm like, bitch, this nigga is older than you. This man is old enough to be your father. And you are asking him, is he going to be good while you're gone? Like he is one of your children? This whole scenario looks a mess. So then she says, I know if you need to talk things out before you do them, call me. Basically, if you're having an itch, call me like you're an addict so I can stop you from fucking somebody else. Girl, the fact that you got to police this nigga who could be your grandpa is ridiculous. Like, girl, have several. So we then see the flashback of Monique asking, bringing up the girls trip or whatever to Ashley. And Ashley says that she didn't want her to feel some type of way because, they have, forged this friendship, but that Karen got to her before she could have. So Ashley, in her confessional says, Monique asked me to put on paper what happened between me and Candace last year at her house. And I said, of course, because the Samuels were really there for us last year. Do I think that Monique does have that damn footage? A part of me does feel like Monique was lying when she said that they didn't have cameras in their basement. I don't bit more believe that, because why would you not have cameras in your basement? I think that Ashley begged her not to give that information up for her family's sake, and she agreed because Monique has said families are off limits. So I think that she did have her back in that regard. I don't think that it's something that she's holding over her head, like trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Not bribe. It's not something that she's trying to, I can't think of the word. I'm sleepy as hell. It's 1:00. Incriminate her with a hold over her head or whatever the case may be. But I do think that she helped her out in that regard. And that is what helped her and Ashley to build some type of trust with one another. So Ashley then says, to Michael, I will always support Monique. Ashley in her confessional says, Monique knows me better than the other women. I shared with her that me and Michael had relations with other women, and she didn't tell anybody. So then they flash back to when she told the girls at the winery that her and Michael like to have threesomes, and Monique pretending to have the shock face. Like, oh my God, girl, for real? How many of us have done that? We already know something. We got to play it off like we ain't know. And that goes to show you that Monique is a real one, because she ain't tell nobody that. Now, I appreciate about her. So Wendy and Karen sit next to each other on the plane, and Wendy feels some type of way. And I just feel some type of way about Wendy edges once again being all the way over here in the middle of her forehead, and her weave part is over here. But your forehead, how your weave part right here, but your sides, your edges is right here. It just doesn't add up and make sense. I need her to stop it. So, the hotel room that the hotel they stayed in, period, it was just gorgeous, but their rooms were stunning. So the girls plan to have dinner with each other that night, and they all meet up in the hotel restaurant, and Gizelle come down with a bejeweled Gucci headband, a red rayon Liberian top that did some type of bow, some cargo capris. You just can't make this shit up. Like, I don't, like, oh, Jesus Christ, this woman in her fashions. It is really nerve wracking. It is like, I feel like she does this shit on purpose now at this point. I feel like that is a part of her shtick. And I saw the little clip of how Karen ate her ass up on Watch What Happens Live, calling her tacky. And I was just like, this is a part of her trademark, because nobody is this horrible when it comes to fashion. It's like, Jesus Christ. So Wendy says, so Karen, I know we had that conversation about degrees. And I was like, no, we're not doing this, Jesus. No, we're not. The devil is a liar. The Satan is busy, and we can tell all the way by her edges. No, we're not. Even Ashley was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I would have got up and left. I would have literally got up and said, you know what, y'all can have this. I'm going to go sit at the table by myself because I'd rather be at the table by myself than listen to this bitch talk about these 4 degrees one more time. So Wendy says, my dad worked at a fast food restaurant and he learned he was being promoted to manager. And to thank this country, he named his first daughter after that restaurant. What the fuck does it have to do with you having 4 degrees? I wouldn't tell nobody that my daddy named me after Wendy's. They burgers is good, don't get me wrong. But, bitch, what? The fuck? That ain't cute. He named you after a little redhead white girl. Make it make sense, Jesus. No. So, Karen says that she's a, adversary for education, and Gizelle said, then why did you believe hers? Always starting with folks, always got to put her little 2 cents in, but as we learned on tonight's episode, she can dish it out, but she can't take it. So Karen says, I didn't, and Wendy says, you did. I did this for every little black girl that looks like me. Girl, you did it for your mama. You ain't even living the life that you want to live. So it's half several. So Karen said, we don't have to talk about this again. And Wendy said, yeah, because I think I put a button on it. Girl, you ain't put a button on nothing. Girl, she checked the shit out of you. And you couldn't do nothing but have egg on your face when all of your so-called homegirls on the show was laughing along with Karen. So they asked about this certain drink that they drink in Portugal, and the lady started calling it punani. And then Gizelle then takes the punani joke on over to Ashley and says, well, how Michael doing? Because, he liked the punani. And I was like, see, this is why Karen is about to eat you up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Ashley said, I'm 100% back in my marriage. And she was like, oh, really? Because, last time it was like 60-40. And Karen peeps what Gizelle is doing. She likes to focus on everybody else and to keep the heat off of her. So, Wendy asked Ashley if she worried something will happen again while she's gone. Because the last time she was gone was when Michael was out here at the casino with his other chick. So then, all I could pay attention at that point was the fact that Robyn still ain't got her hair done. You are going on a trip to a different country and she still had that same raggedy weave that she had in her hair for her confessional look. She didn't get it flat iron. She didn't wash it. She literally slept on that shit or rolled out of bed and said, oh, my plane is about to leave. Let me get up out of here. Like, you saw the tracks. It was like this way, that way. Like, she don't give a fuck that she's on national TV and that people all over the world are watching this. Get Robyn off this show. She has no storyline, A. And then the fact that she don't give a fuck about how she looked doing film, it says a lot. Like, get her off of her. Put her on Football Wives or something. Like, put her on something that's masculine. God damn it. Put on something where they building houses. I don't know. So, they get to joking about being perfect because Robyn says, nobody's perfect. And we was like, I'm perfect. My middle name says I'm perfect. Girl, ain't nothing about you perfect. Especially them edges. They're ridiculous. They're horrendous. They're imperfect. So Ashley, her confessional says, I'm going to have to tell Candace about, me writing this statement for Monique. So we was like, oh shit, this shit about to come down. So Gizelle asked Karen, did she talk to Ray? She asked everybody about that nigga. What's going on with yours? So Karen was like, yeah, I did. But did you talk to Jamal? And I was like, here we go, bitch. So Karen says, I'm concerned that I haven't seen Jamal support you in Potomac. And I was like, get in that ass. So Gizelle said, the man is very booked and busy. And Wendy was like, I think all of our husbands are very booked and busy. And I was like, y'all better get off her dick and start coming for that neck. Get off of her dick and start coming for that wrinkly ass neck of hers. You better, bitch. So, where was I at? I lost my damn space. Gizelle says, he doesn't live in my home. He lives like 800 miles away or whatever the hell she said. And Karen in her confessional says she has a lot of these requirements for our men, but she doesn't have any for the one that she's with. And I'm like, girl, because she ain't with that nigga. So Karen says, is he not proud of you? I was like, Karen is the MVP this season. Like, I stand her so hard because she has been gathering the girls. So Gizelle said, he's very proud of me. And Karen says, well, then a proud man is with his woman. And I was like, ooh, ooh. Ooh. So then Gizelle say, I don't need that. And Karen says, has anyone seen Jamal? Like, where is Waldo? So Gizelle said, he doesn't need to meet you, Karen. We can move the fuck on. I was like, oh, it's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. I was like, oh, bitch, you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Because you knew you had no answers for the girls because you know you over here living a whole lie. Like she ain't like that shit when the heat is turned on her because we all know Gizelle is living foul and living wrong and living a lie and living a facade. Everything is a fairy tale and flashulations. I don't even know the right word I'm using right now, Jesus. But she cannot handle it. I've noticed that when Gizelle like to make jokes and shit in her confessionals or with other people, but when it comes to a one-on-one confrontation, she can't hang. She cannot hang because this ain't the first time Karen done ate her ass up and all she can do is sit there looking stupid. She's not a good reader. She's really not. When it comes to one-on-one tit for tat, she can't go. That's why I don't understand why these other hoes so scared of her and let her say and do whatever, because she is such an easy read and Karen reads her for filth. You see, she never has nothing good to say back to Karen because Karen gathers her edges every time. So, Robyn then says, if you're in a relationship you're happy about, then why not share with your friends? And I was like, Robyn then came out the sunken place finally. Well, what the? Because her hair wasn't done. Her hair was dirty. That was why. So Gizelle confessional say, all I'm asking for is when people come for me, Robyn, just have my back. So then Ashley calls that night. Everybody go to their room, and Ashley calls to check on Michael and Dean. I'm like, girl, Dean is watching CNN. He trying to see the presidential debate. Sit down. So the phone is just ringing. Michael ain't answer the phone. So, this bitch is on suicide watch at this point. She's like, oh my God, he ain't answer the phone. He with another bitch. So she then called a nanny and asked, is Michael home? And nanny said, no, he ain't home yet. And Dean is really tired and restless. This presidential debate is making him really upset. He voted for Trump. Things aren't looking too good right now. He's threatening to jump out the window. It's not looking good, Ashley. No. Put the chains on the door. The enemy is here. So Ashley says, let me call Michael. So she calls Michael again, and he finally answered the phone, and he says that he's on his way home. And Ashley's like, you didn't tell Eve that you were going to be late. So she just interrogated him. And Michael says, I can't be molested like this. This is crazy. He hang up on her. And I was like, nigga, you put yourself in this position. You can't get mad. So she started crying. I just want to go home. And she looking at pictures of Dean and shit. And then she calling back. He ain't answering the phone. So Ashley, I just miss my kid. So Gizelle goes to Robyn's room to confront her about agreeing with Karen. And Robyn was like, she's not all the way wrong, though. And I was like, about time, bitch, you actually confronted her on something. So day 2, Ashley is talking to herself on the balcony. And Candace is in the room still pretending to be being Mary Jane. Karen goes to Ashley's room and Ashley tells her about Michael and that she lashed out and he called back to apologize. And now she feel like she overreacted. And Karen said, was that all it was? Is it, the fact that last time you were out of town, he did what he did? And Ashley's like, no, that's not what it was. Yes, it is. That's exactly what it was. And if you can't even be honest with yourself, like, you're not going to even be honest about your situation, sis. So the ladies meet up in the lobby and Gizelle went in the bathroom, apparently, grabbed some Eco Gel, tried to lay her hair down into a ponytail and attach some of the Beyonce weave from the Formation tour to the back of her head. It didn't even match her real hair. I don't know what the fuck that shit was. It was horrible looking, like, Jesus Christ. So Gizelle asks Ashley how she and Michael are again. And I'm like, bitch, why do you keep on asking her this? So Gizelle then asks, Wendy, is Karen, her and Karen done with this whole conversation? Wendy's like, I'm done with Karen. When she talks about my degree, she's being condescending. Girl, fuck you and them degrees. I'm sick of this bitch. So the girls go to lunch. Ashley excuses herself and then come back with her breast pump on at the table, milking them damn titties. I was like, okay, we get it. Like, women should feel comfortable breastfeeding in public. It shouldn't be sexualized. But girl, put that damn shit up looking like I'm at a cow pasture. Girl, sit down. So Gizelle brings up Wendy and Karen. And I was like, here she go starting shit. And that's why Karen about to eat your ass up again at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Karen said she put a button on it, and Wendy was like, but I'm gonna unbutton it. When you talked about my degrees, many times I wanted to stop. You know, my father died and I had 2 children. No, my degrees aren't who I am, but god damn it, I earned them. Okay, Bernadine, we get it, bitch. It took a lot for you to get them degrees. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, bitch. So Karen, like, I apologize if you were offended. Like, girl, let's just end this shit. I'm sick of talking about it. So Candias brings up the Jamal situation. And Karen says, you know, to Gizelle, you know, just be careful. You got opinions on me, Ray, Michael, Ashley, but why is yours exclusive? Inquiry minds would like to know. So Gizelle said, you've been guarded forever. And Karen says, rightfully so. Would you tell Satan all your business? No, child, I holler. Gizelle couldn't say shit back. Only thing that she could do was then call up Jamal. Girl, what the fuck is the phone call gonna do? And because you called him, that don't mean shit. So Karen said, that ain't gonna satisfy me. And I was like, hey, man, bitch. So when she get off the phone with Jamal, Karen say, I've always known that Jamal lives in your phone and he ain't here. Child, I holler because that's all he is a phone call and nothing else. A phone call away. And that was the whole episode. I give tonight's episode a B+. It was very entertaining. Next week, it seemed like it's going to be on and popping. Let's talk down below about tonight's episode. Talk about what Candace said to the young blogger about she wish he would just drop dead. How do you guys feel about that? Make sure you thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.